Unsuk Chin and I have known each other now for several years. We were introduced to each other during the late 1990s by a mutual friend and great composer, George Benjamin. George and I had been discussing the interesting up-and-coming composers. Very often, that's how news travels, not so much through newspaper critics or magazine interviews or television shows. It's mostly just by word of mouth between people who know the contemporary music scene. And George introduced me to Unsuk Chin, and we began to work together during the late 1990s and have continued working together ever since.
Now a question perhaps to both of you. What has motivated the choice of repertoire for this recording? And could you just tell us a few words on the works featured on the new recording?
Perhaps I'll begin, because both of the pieces were commissions from the orchestras for whom I worked. The Deutsche Symphony Orchestra commissioned Miss Chin for a violin concerto during my first season with the orchestra in 2000. And it was premiered by Vivian Hagner and had an unusually strong success. I still remember that the orchestra performed the work together with Vivian, and the work itself received something like 20 minutes of applause at the end, which is very highly unusual for a contemporary piece. And of course, Unsuk Chin's work merited such a response. Perhaps the proof of that is that this work went on to win the Graumeyer Award, one of the most prestigious awards in composition that one can have. And later, in Montreal, the Orchestre Symphonique de Montreal requested a symphonic work from Miss Chin, which was written for us, premiered a season ago and also recorded a season ago, and made its Canadian and then its American debut in Carnegie Hall. So both of the works, I feel, represent different sides of the incredible spectrum of talent that Unsuk Chin has, but also I feel they represent very, very significant points in our compositional identification. Maybe, Unsuk, you have something to
add? On this CD, two of major works of mine will be presented. The first piece will be my violin concerto, and the second piece will be a Rokana for orchestra. And both pieces were commissioned by Maestro Nagano. Sorry. For me, these pieces are very important because the violin concerto was, for me, the first big commission work in Germany. So I had a very, very good chance to present my music in Germany first time in the Philharmonie. And the second piece, Rokana, is also very important because it is the first orchestra piece of mine without any soloist. And I composed this piece, Rokana, and dedicated to Maestro Nagano in order to express my thanks for our wonderful cooperation for several years.
Finally, a last question, Maestro Nagano. Could you tell us a few words on your collaboration with Analekta and Mario Labbé?
Mario Labbé is best described as a Renaissance man. He has a vast knowledge, not only of the business world, not only of the music world, but all of the various technological sides. And as well, is very, very much in touch, I would say, with the times, with the feeling of the Gesellschaft, of the society. He seems to have a great nose for feeling what the future is before the future actually comes, and in which way trends and tendencies will go. he is also someone, in keeping with this Renaissance man idea, who doesn't seem to be able to find a problem that can't have a solution. It's the most wonderful and amazing talent that he has, to be confronted with seemingly impossible problems and to find very, very elegant and solutions which you would never have thought of before. In this way, I would call him an artist, very, very creative.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Krista.